I'm in a very funny mood. Yet again. And before I even start, like, if you hear some background noise, if you hear some, like, bumps happening, it's just my neighbor's kids. They're just playing this game of who can throw themselves against the ground as hard as they can. Like, who can do that the best. And so we're just gonna have to put up with it. But I feel like recording anyway, so I just hope that my microphone is good enough. Is good at picking up what I wanted to pick up and doesn't pick up so much of that. So just ignore that. That is just, because you're watching a law of attraction video, this is just a condition that neither you nor I can really do anything about. So good practice in ignoring conditions, basically. But I am in such a funny mood today. I want to talk about doubting your desire. And I want to analyze, like, what is actually going on when we do that, because we all do that. I do that as well. And it's like we are all hypnotized by this. We are all so hypnotized by reality. We're so hypnotized by thinking in opposition to what we want. Like, this is where I feel like all of our suffering is coming from. It's all self-imposed. It's all you are thinking in opposition to what you want. We have all been trained into doing that, even though we don't have to do it. And it's so funny to me because the way you are seeing me right now, and I'm feeling kinda, sorta, really giddy for no real reason. I was not like that last night. And I was not like that the day before. Basically, what I was doing last night was I was doubting one of my own desires, or maybe several ones, but either way, what I was doing, I was doubting it. And, when you practice these different emotional states and you actually practice, trying to make yourself feel better and better, so you get better and better at feeling, pretty good on like mostly daily basis. Because, how you feel is just about what you have practiced the most. Like, you're going to gravitate towards what you have practiced the most. So if you start practicing feeling better and better, and then you get to actually feeling pretty good, and you feel that way for most of the time, then whenever you're not feeling that way, it's like you get so sensitive. Especially because with law of attraction, you really have to pay attention to how you are feeling, because this is the main thing with this. Your physical reality is just a reflection of how you're feeling. So you get so practiced at paying attention to that, and then when you're not feeling good, you're so sensitive to that. Like, you can instantly tell. And then even a feeling of like doubting something a little bit is like, it feels so awful. And it's such a funny thing, because if you mostly feel like shit on a daily basis, then you can get so good at feeling like shit that you're almost not even able to tell that you feel like shit, because you feel this way all the time. It's kind of your normal. It's such an interesting thing. This is so normal to you, this feeling of feeling like shit, that you can't really even tell that you're not feeling good. But then if you start practicing something else, now you really can tell. Because you've been in those higher vibrational states now, feeling better. That's a higher vibrational state. Feeling good is a high vibrational state. And you've been there now, so you know what it feels like. And if you're consistently there over a longer period of time, and then you fall from it for whatever reason, even if you fall just a little bit, it just feels terrible, like awful, absolutely awful. And so you get so sensitive. And so last night, I am just like everybody else. I am just like you. And that is a good thing, because it gives me, it's like it gives me experience. It gives me a lens through which to talk about, because it's like I know what we're all experiencing, because I am experiencing the same things. I am just here, just one human with my own desires, right? And I can go in the direction of them, or I can go in opposition of them. So if I am doubting my desire, I am going in the opposite direction, and it feels terrible. And so I know what it feels like if you are doing that right now. So I just wanted to talk about it, and I wanted to analyze, like, what is this feeling really? Like, what is it telling us for future me whenever I'm not feeling as good as I'm feeling right now, and whenever I'm feeling like I was feeling last night? And for anyone else who might be experiencing that feeling right now, what is that doubt really telling us? What is it about? The way that I was last night when I was doubting all of this, it's like I was talking about in my last video, which I'm gonna link here. When momentum gets going in whatever direction, it could be positive or negative, you can't, if you haven't caught it in the early stages, then if it's already going, if that train is already going really fast, you can't turn it around immediately. And sometimes I talk here about finding better feeling thoughts, about, switching tracks. Sometimes if momentum's really going, you can't do that. It's kind of sort of too late. And so last night was like that. It got away from me. Yeah, me too, the one who is talking about these things. See, I'm just like you. Just like you. Like it got away from me this time, this doubting feeling, and it started becoming more. And, it didn't really lead to any kind of manifestation, unless you mean manifestation as in the lack of the things that I want. I'm manifesting the lack of the things that I want in that situation, right? So that's what it was turning into. But it is really like that feeling, whatever feeling you've got going on. If momentum is underway, it just becomes more and becomes more and becomes more. And this is what was happening. And I couldn't stop it. I tried to, but it was already too late. I was like already there. And so last night, guys, I was just bawling my eyes out. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was really crying. I was crying so much. And you might be crying right now if you're watching this and you're really doubting something you want. And it's like you really, really want it. And when you really, really want it and you really, really doubt it, it really, really hurts. And then your emotional response is to cry about it. And sometimes when momentum's already underway and you can't stop it, that's kind of the thing that you just have to roll with. So just cry about it. Don't even try to make yourself stop right now. You just ride the waves of that. But I am here to tell you this, Kelly, that I am now, currently, right? I am here to tell you that that feeling will not last forever. I know it feels like It will last forever. Forever. It feels like this will never stop. But it will stop. Like as soon as you go to sleep today and you wake up tomorrow, momentum will have stopped and you have a fresh chance to get going in the other direction if you want to. You could also pick that doubt up right where it was and get it all going again, and then you'll be crying again. I'm not laughing at you. I just know what it's like. And I have done that same thing too. So if you are crying right now, then I just know that I have compassion for you. I know what it's like. But from a different feeling state, I can tell you that you won't be feeling that way forever. And maybe you could also come back to this video when you're not crying and then see that you feel better now. So the things that you get out of this video are going to be different from that feeling state. Because right now, what you're probably getting out of it is just like, yeah, right, You just feel like, no, these things are never coming my way and I'm never going to get what I want. And it really sucks and I'm really doubting it and everything is awful. That's how I was feeling last night. And I'm the person talking about all of this. But let's just try to be logical for a second here, because I feel like that actually might be of help for future me and maybe for you too. Let's talk about this doubt, and I'm going to talk about it from the perspective of law of attraction and what I know about law of attraction and what has been my experience of it. Like normally, I don't even like to talk about facts, because usually when people start talking about facts, what they mean is I'm going to start talking about a reality that I don't like. And they will say things like, well, the reality today is. And oh my God, I don't even want to think what comes next, because usually it's not going to be something positive. It's not going to be something that they want. So usually when people talk about facts in anything, that's what they are going to do. They're going to talk about unwanted things that have already manifested into beingness, that have already been focused into beingness, and that they don't really want to perpetuate, but they don't know anything else, so they just talk about that. But I'm going to talk about facts, but these actually are facts, regarding law of attraction and doubt. And as far as like what my understanding is of what doubt means in this case, and why we are so obsessed with it, why it really gets such a hold over us. So here are the things that I can tell you right now. So this feeling of doubt, I know that it feels like this doubt is telling you right now that that thing you want, whatever it is, that you can't have it. It feels like this doubt is telling you that there is some kind of fact that means that you can't have the things that you want, that there is this reality that is real, and then the things that you want, that you think about, that you would like to experience, that these things actually aren't real. And you feel as though this doubt is telling you that this doubt is indicative of what's actually real. I hope that makes sense. But it actually isn't. This doubt it's a symptom of you seeing a distorted version of reality right now, and a distorted version of who you really are. Because right now you feel like you are this person who can't have these things that you want. That's what your doubt is telling you. You feel like it's telling you that. And your brain currently, because you are in that doubtful emotional state, is giving you all the evidence in the world Maybe you even have physical manifestations happening that are showing you as if you can't have this thing that you want. But I want to pull you into the real reality, I guess. And I want to remind you of who you really are and what law of attraction in this case is, like, what is actually happening right now as you're doubting this thing. So as I have been talking about, law of attraction is just the mechanism that responds to your emotional state. Your emotional state right now is one of doubt. You're doubting the things you want, and it feels terrible. So if law of attraction is just responding to how you feel, and your reality is just a reflection of how you feel, then all of these things that you can see, the lack of what you want that you are experiencing right now, and the thoughts in your head that are telling you you can't have these things or that they're not coming your way, and the manifestations that you can see in your physical reality that seem to almost confirm to you that you can't have these things, all of that is right now a reflection of how you feel, because that is your emotional state. So you can't get anything other than that, because you can only experience whatever your emotional state is, broadly. And right now it's doubt. So it makes sense that you would keep on seeing these things that are telling you as if you can't have the things that you want, because it's just matching what you're currently thinking and feeling, which is doubt. You are thinking and feeling that you can't have these things, and so reality is just matching. It's just showing you this is what you're currently thinking. But this isn't reality. It's a little bit difficult to explain, but I hope you can understand it in some kind of way. This isn't actually reality. So let's talk about what this doubt actually means. So my understanding is that we are all source energy. Like there is the source energy that we all come from. We are all pure positive energy at our core. Like basically we are, all of us, no matter how anyone is appearing at any given point in time in physical reality in their human form, we are all unconditional love, right? And so that is actually our natural state. And obviously unconditional love is a good feeling. And there are lots of different good feelings, like just happiness, contentment, being excited, all of that. These are all good feelings. And it's like this good feeling state is who we really are. So whenever we're not feeling that way, whenever we are feeling doubtful, right, like right now, let's say, you are not being who you really are right now. You are being in this moment, and this moment is just a moment in time. It won't last forever, I promise. But in this moment, you're not being who you really are. You're being a distorted version of that. And because this is what you're being right now, then this is all that you can see right now as well. And it's all you can even feel right now. You just feel this distortion. You are seeing a distorted version of your own reality. You are experiencing a distorted version of your own self. It isn't who you really are. And I can tell you that because I was right there where you are last night. Like I told you, I was like crying. I was being like, nothing is ever gonna manifest for me. And for me, it's also like, well, I'm talking about this stuff, So it's like, if my dreams are not manifesting for me, it's like I take it really hard because it's like my credentials, It's my credibility. I can't be talking about this stuff if I don't have anything to like back me up. And I do know that it's not true. Like, yeah, I do have things to back me up, but I also have things that haven't manifested yet that I really want, just like all of us. And I would like them to happen so that, then I can talk about them and like what I did and everything. It basically gives me material for my videos as well. And so if it's not happening, or if I'm in a state where I'm like, it's not happening, then I take it really hard. And so, but you are seeing a distorted version of who you are. You're experiencing a distortion right now. And how I know that it is a distortion and it isn't, like there isn't anything that's actually telling you that the fact is that you can't have these things. It's actually, this feeling of doubt is telling you the opposite. That's such a funny thing. It's telling you the opposite because if source energy, which is what you really are, you are this unconditional love. If that's what you really are, if what you really are is a good feeling, and you are right now experiencing the opposite of that, then, especially if all the desires, everything you want, also represents a good feeling, which it does, then this doubt must mean that right now, all that is happening is that you are thinking in opposition to what you want. You're thinking that you can't have these things, but source energy, it's like this, it's like a higher version of you. Abraham Hicks calls it your inner being. A lot of people call it your higher self, whatever you want to call it. There is a part of you that has already become these things that you want. And if you are not going in the direction in your own mind of these things that you want, and you can tell that you aren't because you're feeling terrible, your higher self never feels terrible. Because your higher self, as soon as you want something, your higher self just becomes it, just like instantly, like that. It instantly goes in the direction of what you want and becomes it. And then it's kind of like shining the light for you. This is what the feeling is telling you, that feeling of doubt. It's that there is a light, there is a light over here being shined for you to go in the direction of what you want. But if you don't go, you feel doubtful because you are not meeting up with your higher self. You're not in connection with your higher self. Your higher self is not seeing the situation the way that you are currently. Your higher self knows that, yeah, you can have these things. And in fact, you're supposed to have these things. And if you were to start going in a direction of them, it's just a natural consequence that you would have to meet up with these things and everything else that you consider fun and good along the way. But if you're not going in that direction, you feel doubt. And that's because your higher self never joins you in that feeling, because it knows that this is a distortion. It knows that this isn't actually real. It may be a little bit difficult to understand, but I hope whoever is listening to this is able to understand that from their point of view somehow. Your higher self is, it's pure positive energy. Your higher self is somebody who feels really good and knows that this is who they actually are. Like, this is who you really are. You're somebody that feels really, really good. But if you're doing something, you're thinking in your head some thought that is making you feel the opposite of that, then you are not being who you really are in that moment, and you feel the discord. You feel the discord between who you really are is thinking about all of these things that you want and what you in your human physical form are thinking right now about all of these things that you want. And this is all that doubt is. Doubt is just you not meeting up with you. It's you disagreeing with you. Your higher self right now is saying, yeah, you can have these things. There's no reason for you to not get to these things, even if they haven't happened yet. That doesn't mean that they're never going to happen. That's what your higher self is thinking right now. But you in your human form right now are thinking, well, where are these things? I want these things, but they're not here. Or am I doing something wrong? Am I in a wrong place? Whatever you are thinking that is making you doubt it. But your higher self, source energy, never joins you in that. Because if it did join you, you wouldn't feel terrible anymore. So this feeling of terribleness is just telling you that you're not in agreement with yourself. You're not moving in the direction of the things that you want. You're going in the opposite direction. So the reality, the actual reality regarding who you really are is that you can have these things. In fact, these things have your name on them. They are waiting for you along the good feeling path. They are not waiting for you along the bad feeling path, if that makes sense. This is your stuff. Because you have lived life, right? And you have, throughout life, had experiences that have helped you define what you now want, considering who you now are, what you would now like to experience. And your higher self has already become these things. And all of these things, they have your name on them. This is your stuff. Nobody else has access to it. Nobody else can keep you from it. No one else can cancel this stuff for you. Your higher self knows that and is just there with the light to show you the way. And as soon as you get going in the direction of where your higher self is and how your higher self feels about these things, you will start feeling better, I promise you. Because again, I was right there going in the opposite direction last night. I was feeling terrible. I was crying. And now I'm here in this video talking about this and laughing. What a funny thing. There's only been one night of difference between those two emotional states. And I'm feeling completely differently. So this is also something that I would like to remind you, because right now, in this doubtful state, you might even have a lot of resistance to listening to someone like me, because you want to be like, well, no, that can't be, because where are these things? Because you just have momentum going in that direction. And as I was saying in my last video, well, I'm going to link that last video here too, but as I was saying, when you have momentum, you can't stop it immediately. All you can do is just slow it. And you just gotta ride it out. You gotta chill out. But this momentum is not telling you that you can't have these things. It's just, this is all that you can perceive right now. You are in a doubtful state. So all that you have access to right now are feelings and thoughts that feel like nothing ever works out for me. Things don't come my way. All of this law of attraction shit is bullshit, basically. This is all you have access to, because right now you're in a distorted state. You are seeing distortions, and I know it feels really believable. It feels like it's reality. And this is why we are so obsessed with it when we get into that kind of place. It just feels so believable. If the lack of something in your life is right in your face, because obviously you can see the my microphone, sorry. Obviously you can see the things around you, right? Reality is really obvious. It's really in your face. It's really just like this light right here. I have a huge box light in my face right now. So it's kind of hard to ignore. So if something is in your face like this, it's hard to ignore it. It feels like you should acknowledge it. You should be truthful about it. But as I have been saying, if all you do is just face reality, then reality can't change. You have to give yourself permission to be more focused on what you want and thinking more about the things that you want rather than the things that are just here. I hope that makes sense. So the doubt is not telling you that these things are not coming. These are your things. It's the stuff that you have defined that you want throughout your life. You couldn't even feel terrible if there wasn't the version of you that was experiencing these things. Because you are feeling the discord between what that version is thinking and knows is real and versus what you are thinking, the physical you right now. This is what the discord is about. We think that the discord is about, finally realizing that actually, life is not magical and I can't get the things that I want. But this is just what society has told you. This is what other people have told you. Other people who, most of them, they keep themselves apart from what they want. They don't feel that good. They don't feel that good on a daily basis anyway. And anybody can tell you things only from their perspective, only from the experiences that they have had. So if you're talking to people or if you're listening to people who don't believe in their dreams and they think that all of this is bullshit, and this is obviously their reality is a reflection of what they believe, right? So they have all the evidence in their life that, it is bullshit. Yeah, you don't get your dreams, but that's because that's what they think. And that's how they mainly feel. So how can they tell you anything else? Even me, I can only tell you things that I feel to be true, things that I have experienced or continue to experience or whatever. This law of attraction thing, you have to prove it to yourself. Really, really you do. But because I have manifested things that I want and I continue to manifest things that I want and I continue to feel, better and better because I work on this. I don't like to feel like shit. I say it all the time. I don't want to feel like shit, So I try to do things to help myself with that, to help myself feel better. Then this is the point of view that I'm talking to you from. I swear to you, if you had seen the Kelly that I was last night, it's very interesting because this Kelly, probably would tell you that this is all bullshit. you shouldn't listen to me because this is just how I was feeling in that state. And even in that state, I can remind myself that, I am experiencing a distortion. And I was reminding myself of that. But, I'm just like you. It feels real to me too when it happens. So, and you start to only understand that this is a distortion and it's not actually real when you begin to feel better. Because as you begin to feel better, different thoughts and different impulses occur to you. From a place of feeling doubt, all the thoughts that occur to you, or at least a large quantity of them, is going to be of that nature. It's going to be of a nature of how you can't have the things you want and how life is bullshit and all that. Because you just don't have access to anything else. But I can tell you This better feeling Kelly can tell you that when you get to a higher state, therefore you feel better. You feel relief. You now have access to different thoughts. It's like you see more clearly now. It's hard to believe when you're in a doubtful place because you are not able to see clearly and you feel like it's so real, you know? But when you get to this better feeling state, you realize it was never real to begin with. When you start feeling more like who you really are, which I am reminding you is pure positive energy, then a lot of these distortions, they fall apart, they fall away. It's just such an interesting thing. And the things that you say and the things that you do, these also change according to your emotional state, according to what you are practicing. Because yesterday I was in no mood to make any kind of video. I was just in a mood to cry, so that's what I did. And now here I am laughing about that same thing. And you could ask me, well, that desire that I was doubting, like, has something changed about that? Has that, like, suddenly appeared in my reality? No, it hasn't. But I'm in a different emotional state now. So I have gone from disbelief about it to belief about it again. At least a little bit more belief. Because I feel better. I'm not doubting it in this moment. And so therefore I feel better. Therefore, I am in agreement with my own self, with my own higher self. We are in agreement right now about this. So I feel better. I've gone in the direction of the light, basically. So, 555, as I say that, by the way, in case that's relevant to anyone. 555 represents change as far as I know. So that could be an upcoming change in your emotional state for something better. Because you're watching this video. So you're already on the track of that. You should come back to this video when you feel better because you will hear this video differently. You will pick up different things from this video. You know, when I make these videos, I'm about to end this video because I, again, been yapping for almost 40 minutes. I'm so thankful for whoever has the patience to watch these things. But whenever I make these videos, you know, I always have to remind myself that I have no idea who is watching this. Like, I don't know who you are, or what your life experiences have been, or what you believe about yourself, about the world, about your world, about me. I have no idea, and I don't know what emotional state you are in. If you are in a lower vibrational state, so you don't really feel that good, and then you see something like this, it's gonna be really annoying to you. I know how that feels. You know, somebody talking about your dreams and getting your dreams, and you are depressed or whatever, and you just feel like, what the fuck? There's no way I'm ever gonna get my dreams because, again, that's all you have access to right now. Your emotional state kind of determines what you have access to in the form of manifestations, in the form of just things that come to you in the form of thoughts in your own head. So from that kind of place, you can't even... It's like you're hearing my words, but they are not really registering to you in the way that I mean them. Because you're in a lower vibrational state. So you might actually have a lot of resistance. You might feel like arguing with me, basically. You might feel like posting comments about how it's not really that way and how it's all bullshit. And it's just how you feel right now. That's all you have access to. And this is what that emotional state, it's giving you that impulse. possibly, to say something like that. So, but you could also be in a higher vibrational state, in which case you might be going, yeah, it is that way. Yeah, I can feel resonance with what she is saying. Because you're in a higher vibrational state, so you are more likely to hear what I'm actually saying. And I don't mean hear as in like audibly hear. It's just like something inside you. You will know the truth of this if you are in a higher vibrational state, because you have access to that. So you're connecting with that in that kind of way, with this video in this kind of way. And your higher self knows that what I am saying about your desires and about you and how you can have them is true. So if you are arguing with that right now, it means you are not in agreement with your higher self. It's a funny thing. And then if you come back to this video and you actually have, something has happened, or you have done something, you feel better now, or it's like you will begin to see the world completely differently. It's such an interesting thing. And then you come back to this video, and then you get something completely different out of this. Then you might be like, hey, she was right all along. I feel that way now. And then remember what you thought when you were in the doubtful place. But, as I make these videos, I can't take that, like where anyone is who is watching this, in what kind of emotional state they are in. I can't take that and see that as like my responsibility, or it can't really be something that I take into consideration too much, because it's too much chatter in my own head. It's gonna like mess up what I mean to say to you. And what I mean to do right now is just to remind you of who you really are, which is pure positive energy. But if you are in disagreement with that right now, you want to argue with that, then all I can do is really just understand that this is just the emotional state that you're in right now. And that is all you have access to. And so you feel like arguing with this. It's just a natural consequence of where you are. But I am just here to remind you of who you really are. And if you begin to go in the direction of that, and then you come back, you might see this video completely differently. So, even though I don't know who you are, or where you are, or what your life experiences have been, or what you believe about anything, and what your reality is, and what your experiences are, and how you feel, most of all, I am just here as a sign for you that you are on the direction of feeling better, because you couldn't really meet up with this video otherwise, because I'm making it from like a better feeling state than I was yesterday. And I actually have access to what, the truth of who you really are, what it is. Otherwise I couldn't be talking about this. So this is actually a sign for you, if you feel like watching this, that you are on a pretty good track, even if you feel terrible right now. You are not that far off from feeling better. So I'm just reminding you of that. So I think that's all I wanted to say about doubt and what doubt really is. So just remember, if you are in a doubtful place right now, you are experiencing a distortion. And I know it feels real. I know it feels like this is what life is, or this is who you are, or this is some kind of reality or fact about you, but it isn't. This doubt is only a reflection of how you're currently feeling. And your higher self, source energy, your inner being, is not in agreement with how you're currently thinking about things. Otherwise, if they were in agreement, you wouldn't feel the discord. you would feel happy as ever because source energy agrees with you. Well, source energy is never going to agree with your negative view of yourself or of anyone else or anything else. Because it knows that, yeah, you can get these things that you want and you're supposed to get them. And if they haven't happened yet, that doesn't mean that they never will. Some things sometimes take time because you're just too resistant right now. So you're not ready for it right now, but it still has your name on it. It's not going anywhere. It's yours. Nobody else can get it. Nobody else can keep you from it. And it's just inevitable that you will meet up with it when you start feeling better. And I don't know when you will meet up with it. But if you just keep going in that direction of I want to feel relief, somehow, whatever way I can do something right now to try and chill out about this or try and have more fun if I'm able to, then you will start meeting up with things that feel more like that. And the natural consequence is that at some point you're going to meet up with the things that you want as well. Because it has to be that way. It is law. So, to future me and to anyone else, I hope that this was helpful and maybe even educational when it comes to the law of attraction in some way. I wanted to talk about this because we all get into that kind of emotional state from time to time. It's just natural. And remember, once again, I'm saying it to myself as much as I'm saying it to you. How can you know what happy is if unhappy never happens? You can't know. So what you're experiencing is not something going wrong. What you're experiencing right now is just a natural part of the process. This is what it means to be human on this earth. We have all of these emotions that we can experience, and I think that we should experience from time to time because it gives us perspective, you know? It helps us make choices. But I'm just saying you don't have to make a home out of these negative feelings because that's not where your true home is. So I am just reminding myself of that and you of that. And yeah, I hope that it has been helpful and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.